te uagi Jokunam dashin laju pasho Ilang guru ratna mandala kaniyatayami Chedan soki chonamla Chanchu bardu dagni kyapsuchi Daki chenyen gipe sanamki Jola penchir sangye dubasho Chedan soki chonamla Chanchu bardu dagni kyapsuchi Daki chenyen gipe sanamki Jola penchir sangye dubasho Chedan soki chonamla Chanchu bardu dagni kapsuchi Daki chenyen gipe sanamki Jola penchir sangye druparsho Shoki shmoki. I'd like to welcome, it sounds, can you turn the bass up and the treble down? Is that possible? The bass is always important. First of all, I'd like to welcome Yao Li from Taiwan. If you meet her coming out of the bathroom, she will fundraise for you. She's a crazy fundraiser. And she's paying for half of everything, so be sweet to her. And she's been fundraising for many years. And really, a big part of the translator's money comes from her work. So we really, really thank you. And we pray for your long life more than ours. Because we need you, okay? So I begged her to come so we could put pressure on her to keep going. By the way, I'd like to have dinner with you and Jenny, and is Vivian here this time?
She's coming. Yeah.
Okay, later this week. Jenny, Vivian, and Yali. And we'll talk about what we want to talk about in Bali, okay? Sometime. And you pay for dinner. No, just kidding. I'd like to welcome Professor John Campbell. He's a Sanskrit expert with a lot of degrees and professorships, and I don't remember all of them. And it's so nice to have someone in the room who's good at Sanskrit, because we have a big Sanskrit team, but they don't know Sanskrit. So it's kind of challenging sometimes. And he offered, if we can't find a Sanskrit book like yesterday, he's going to rewrite it. I'd like to thank Noor also. Noor just got back from Nepal last night or so, I don't know. Yeah. And she's found some rare private collections there with John and other members of the team. Vimala's been there. And thank you for that. Okay, so the Sanskrit project is really blooming finally, okay? And it's a lot to work on. We never had good quality control on the input, so it's gonna, now we'd have no excuse, right? Okay, and several of your texts are using the Sanskrit. So it's important to have someone who understands it. I have a question for you today. So here we go. Then I'm going to give a long thank you to Dr. Wu downstairs at 10 to 11:30. And please come, okay? It's important for you guys to come, all right? And something weird happened in the last 2 months, November and December. We sold sponsor copies of the first book that our team has put out, and we sold $140,000 worth, okay? So I predicted 5 copies, and I was wrong. So I think this might turn out to be something, you know. It's kind of shocking to me. But it's because Yao Li grab people one by one in Bali. And she said, I don't care if you can't read it, you need it on your altar. And she sold 425 in Bali at $200 each. Okay, so that's $85,000. So, and Brigitte sold a bunch in Germany.
16 would be.
Well, there's fewer people in Germany. And Scott was kind enough to auction the book for us in Russia, Kazakhstan, and Kiev for a total of about $15,000. So it's pretty awesome. And we'll talk more about that downstairs, but please come downstairs and enjoy. Okay, let's get going. I did a progress report for each person. It's exciting because a bunch of people are going to finish their books. Word is close to finishing his first book of 2 books. And I think Ben is close. Many people are close. Adam's actually close to finishing his first book. And everybody's close. And it's going to be exciting. They're going to be coming out now. We have a Heart Sutra commentary finished. We're kind of holding it back to milk the Diamond Cutter commentary. But when it comes out, so we've done 3,000 pages. I'll show you a mass summary. Where's that? Here's a macro summary. Adam's text is out of the question.
Holy moly.
But here's the totals. Based on sunlight, we have a 1,400,000 words to finish, which is 20,000 pages of English.
Whoa.
And if we average 500 pages of volume, it'll be 38 volumes will come out of this room soon. And we're about 3,000 pages into that. And we'll be presenting those to Dr. Wu downstairs. Okay. All right. So we have about 1 million words to do. But we can do it. Yeah. And it's slow. I mean, it's... How many pages did I say? Total.
1,371,000.
Words. Divide by 70.
1 million what?
It's 20,000 pages or something. 20,000 pages or something. Okay. So here's Utpala's text. She's going to be done in about a term and a half. And Venerable Utpala and GMR, we have to start thinking about what's next. So I need to know what you would kind of like to work on. Really? We could do a compilation of several schools. That'd be fun. Call it Psychology Today or something.
Psychology yesterday.
Yeah.
It's just an idea. If you've got something sexy, I'll take it.
Yeah, let me put some thought to it. I mean, that's an interesting idea. You could call it Buddhist psychology, and then you could translate 3 or 4 presentations of it and put them in one text. You could actually take some of them from these guys' books. Okay, there's something I wanted Utpala and Ben to work on.
Sounds fun.
Just at the end of the last term, he has this proof of Mushikingo to deny that things can start through 4 combinations, right? And when he actually gets to the proof, he doesn't... you can split it. He says, Shen Du She means you go find it in another book. So I bet it's in one of the books we're working on by Chonin Lama. So I'd like you and Ben to go find a presentation by Chonin Lama. What you can do is put all the Chonin Lama texts in the database into one folder. And search it for Mushikingo.
Lucky you did that.
Search it for this combination here. Okay. Mushikingo. And he'll have the whole argument. And then let's put it as a footnote. Okay, so that's homework for you guys. Okay? Cool. Is that the coffee maker? Okay, so anyway, that's a homework for you guys. By the way, that's what a relational database does, and we don't have one. We have a flat file database. And if Phil finishes in his next life.
Joel made it. I mean, it's made. It's just about
Yeah.
ready, right?
Well, if you guys can get it going, I'll kiss your feet, and I promise. But then you could say, search all the books of Choni Lama, and you don't have to go physically put them all in one folder. And it would be so nice. And then you could say, this is how this word was treated in East Tibet in the 1840s. And you could learn a lot. Those are very interesting to me. Okay, so anyway, there's our homework for you from the end of the last term. And I think it'd be cool to do it. Now we're getting to a point where you guys can do that kind of stuff for me. And the idea is to make you independent by the time I go to Nirvana. So. All right, here we go. Or just sit on the porch.
Stay from me.
Sit on the porch and answer questions. Oh, the master spoke today. Okay, let's go, Rumpala. Good. She has a very good long S. Okay, she stretches out the S sound, which is... No, but she's like the only person in the room that does it right. So learn it. Okay, ki. Okay, this is ki. Got it? Say ki. Yeah, and then this is ki. Okay, so, okay. If you're Ladakhi, you'll say kiss. Kiss me. Okay, kiss me. Shenyang, moreover, Chitamje,
Everything in the universe
Ranshinki,
appears.
Madru.
It's on nature.
Now, I'll give $50. That's a good start.
Nothing exists.
To anyone who tells me the wrong way to translate this sentence.
Everything doesn't exist naturally.
Oh my God. No, but say it again.
Everything doesn't exist naturally.
Yeah, that's the wrong way to translate it, okay?
Nothing exists.
You got it? Okay. She's my banker. Yeah, we don't say in English, everything doesn't exist through its own nature. We don't say that. We say nothing exists through its own nature. You cannot translate this, all statement in Tibetan. Please, I beg you, and everyone in this room does it, except me. Don't translate it as everything doesn't exist by its own nature, okay? Got it? What are you going to say? Nothing exists by its own nature. Through a nature of its own. Why the A?
Because you want to emphasize the fact that it couldn't be.
Yeah, it's an impossibility. You shouldn't say through its own nature, because that sounds like it could, but there's no such thing. You have to say through. A means, he's smart, meaning he's dumb, right? Okay, got it? Okay. So those two things, what? Don't say the nature or its own nature. Don't say that, because it sounds like it could exist. When you say some nature of its own or a nature of its own, it's much more accurate, okay? And the people will get the right impression, the reader, okay? And we're going to spend an hour downstairs today on the Two Husbands in the kitchen, which I've changed the name to the Two Husbands Sutra. And it's my first great book. And it is a sutra. I figured out it is a sutra. It is a sutra. Unabashedly, it's a real sutra, because it's a short teaching that has everything in it, okay? So anyway, the husband who isn't coming from me, he doesn't have a nature of his own. He's not a husband on his own. There's no such husband. Got it? That's nature here. Got it? Okay? All right. Now he gives a list. Shija?
Noble things,
Yeah.
permanent things, and working things.
Don't say permanent.
Bases and so on.
Don't say permanent.
Unchanging.
Yeah, unchanging things, functioning things, working things.
Coffee.
And coffee cups.
and coffee cups. All these things which are generals. Good. Generals. So this is an interesting proof for emptiness.
Yeah.
He's going to do this thing where he splits the world into all comprehensive pieces, mutual, either you're a chi or a chedrat. Before it was either you're a gyu or a gebu or you're a yepa or a mepa or a takpa or a mitapa. And now we got chis and chedarks, okay, which is very sexy. I've never seen really, I think, a proof like that. All the chis don't have a nature. Who said
Oh.
Oh.
None of
I just said good.
No one would have.
None of the chis has a nature, and and all the chedarks don't have a nature also.
None of the changes.
Got it? Okay. All right, got it? So chi yimba, those things which are chis, okay? And, they, rangshinki, they don't exist through some nature of their own. Say some, okay? Or say a nature of their own, okay? The chi mayimbichas, yeah, all objects which are not general categories or something.
That is to say.
Good. It's a positivistic, which is to say all particulars also don't exist through
There you go.
some nature. Okay, good. Okay, got it? You okay? So we're going to repeat that correction 3 times in one short paragraph. Don't say all, don't say all, don't say all. Okay? Say no. Now he's going to prove the 3. Ready? Here we go. Please read. Who's got the plain atom? Just criticize her, even if she doesn't make a mistake. It's good for character.
And ego. Tangpo der pal. Shit. Tangpo.
Confuse her.
Sheja te chu tam che ki tenne.
Tangne?
Tenne. Ming san ki shak. Takpa de. Takpe rik. Chedrakpe tenne. Ming san ki shak. Mupo tang. Bumpa yang mupo rik tang. Bumpe rik. Chedrakpe tenne. Ming de shakpa yen ki. Chedrak le dun shimpe. Chi yimpa chi yang me.
Yeah, it's a tough sentence. It's a tough sentence. So Dumbo Der Tao means it is true that all things don't have a nature of their own.
That no.
Okay. Why? Because Sheja De Chitam Jeki Tengne Ming Sam Kishak. Now he's taking chis and saying they are empty because they are dependent on their chidaks in the way that a cup is dependent on its parts. So if you think about it, the members of a set are the parts of the set. So the set is dependent on the parts of the set, okay? So Sheja, all things, everything in the universe, Sheja, is dependent on the individual objects in the universe, okay?
That's what you're telling me.
In the way that the pen is given, is established atop the 2 parts of a pen. Okay, got it? But this is a rikchi and not a tsokchi,
Collect.
right? What's that?
It's the archetype, not the
Good.
collection.
Well, it's a set and a subset, a set and its members, rather than a
A thing in its parts.
tsokchi, a physical thing in its parts. Okay, got it? So sheja kama, sheja de.
Yeah.
That sheja thing, he's trying to prove what he just said. Here's sheja here. He's going to go through these items one by one. Shejas are established, shak, merely through some key names on top of, in Tibetan, everything in the universe. Okay? All the stuff in the universe is name put on all the things in the universe. Okay? Got it like that? Okay.
So we're repeating everything in the universe twice in the way you just said it?
Well, I'm just trying to make it simple. Noble things it doesn't pass the waiter test.
Yeah, right.
Xiaoping, explain the waiter test. This is one of your main jobs.
Waiter test means that to check if our translation, the words we use are readable or easy to understand, accessible to the normal people. We can go to a restaurant to show our translation to the waiter who's there. If they don't understand, that means that we don't pass the waiter test.
Yeah, like you go to Taratai here, and you say, I would like to order noble things. No, and the guy says, huh?
I mean, the category, no.
No, so it's just a weird, and then another test is, look up, quote, all the things in the universe on Google and see how many hits. Somebody can do it right now. Then look up noble things in quotation marks and compare the hits. I bet it's 100 to 1. Okay.
Noble things without.
I'm not,
Thousands for that.
okay. You see what I mean? But you have to put quotation marks.
1,340
Yeah, but
results.
you would have to, the other would have to be.
Or everything in the universe, okay? That's my bet. I bet it's 1 in 100 or more, okay?
15,000, 16,000.
Tell me later. Okay.
6 million.
Ming Tam Ki Shak, established only in name. But he's going to give the more complete phrase later in this paragraph. Okay, here we go. Now, second item I mentioned above, Takbas,
Unchanging.
it is also Shak,
Established.
established. It's Ming Tam Ki,
Nearly.
on top of literally, but, based on its Chedoks, okay? All right. By the way, you got to pause after Takbe Rig, okay? The category of things called unchanging is based upon its own members, okay? Which means empty space, emptiness, and all the other, according to Stanley's text, one Takpa. Chinam Sakchi Safa Menlam to be Duchinam Sachi Kanjidera Lasana Kodikiapaga Samen like me the end of Duma Chinam Sanyang Te. Duma Chinam Sumyang Te. There's only 3 according to Abhidharma. Takpas, okay? Tang ne Ming Tam Kishak. Ngopodang and Boombas.
Yeah.
Functioning.
Functioning things in coffee cups.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, this clarification helps you read this one up here. The Rik hangs with the Takpa, the Rik hangs with the Ngopo, the Rik hangs with the Pumpa, okay? Those Riks, those types are established now, the full term, which I've been waiting for, okay? Mingde Shakpa, okay? This is high, middle way. High, middle way. Mingde Shaksam. Say Mingde Shaksam. Which means just a creation of names and terms, okay? So, $100, who can explain Ming and Day? $100.
What is the word?
But it has to, no, raise your hand.
Sure.
Shit's her text.
Agreed.
Ming is a word and day is a mental image.
Good, Da is a mental image. Yeah. This is the instrumental, by the way, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay? So that's correct answer. But, oh, I'm sorry, you do the money, honey. I'm also broke,
So I
so.
should get a penalty for
Yeah, she should get a $3 penalty for the instrumental. No, you can give her 100. Yeah, so things are established in names, but more importantly, things are established in Da. Da means an expression, okay? Da means an expression. The only common usage in Tibetan is like Nyenda, which means an alarm, an expression of anger, of danger. Okay, Nyenda. So somebody hit the Nyenda. Reep, reep, reep. That's called a Da, okay? But it means an expression. It's an ancient word for term. Like they'll say, oh, this Sanskrit Da means this, So it means expression as opposed to a word. But it's not verbal and it's not even conceptual. It's what is it in the kitchen?
Picture of the husband coming out of the sea.
Yeah, it's the minute she opens the door. karmic seed opens, and a luminous picture comes out and unifies the pieces of the husband. Bright red, big, round, and extra decibels. Extra decibels. No, because the ear can only hear decibels, not words. And the eye can only see reds and rounds. So it's like red, round, decibels, anger. It's the da which says anger, okay? And when was that seed planted? When she yelled at her kid. Okay, so it's extremely important to know this da doesn't mean word or expression, and the Ming is not so important in Buddhism. It's not, doesn't really matter. You can call it fish, you can call it angry, you can call it pizza. The word doesn't matter. It's the da. It's the mental image that comes out of the seed and unifies the parts. Question?
Yeah, you said that it was not conceptual.
Not to be what?
It is not conceptual, but it is an object of...
Oh, you can, I don't mean to say that. I just mean, what I meant was, in the Abhidharma, names, it's a debate about names. Are they sounds or are they concepts? So there's a huge debate in the Abhidharma, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, it's not names in the normal sense of names, any interpretation of names. Names are not the big thing in Buddhism. What's a big thing is the mental picture exiting the karmic seed. That's emptiness, that's Buddhism. Names are not so important, because it could have different names anyway. It can call pen, you could call a pen a chutor and you could call a chutor a pen. It doesn't really matter. It's not the point, okay? The point is the dog really sees a real chutor coming out of his karmic seed, okay? Okay, cool. So we have to spend a lot of time on Mingde Shaksam, okay? And he reversed it here. He said Sam Ki Shak. You see what I mean? Which is okay. Okay, okay. So there also. And Cheda le den shembe chi yimba chiam mebe cha. Anybody want to take a shot at that? Chiang me we know.
And other objects.
No, don't exist at all. It's a name of which formless realm meditation?
Third?
Yeah, third formless realm meditation. Nothing at all. Okay, there is nothing at all, which is a chi, which is dun shen, then it's chidox.
Other than its parts, yes.
Yeah, there's no set, which is another thing than its members. Don't exist anywhere else. The qiyang is like, nowhere. You got to do like qiyang. Okay, it couldn't, forget it. There's no such thing. It means no such thing in Tibetan. Try to find
No such thing as
a category called cars with no Toyotas, no Fords, no, it doesn't exist. There's no such thing. Okay, got it? Therefore, cars is dependent on its chidox. The chi is dependent on its chidox. If you took away all the Toyotas, all the Fords, all the Chevys, there wouldn't be cars as a category. Got it?
Geshe, is there something he's emphasizing, especially by saying shijate instead of
Yeah,
Greer?
exactly. Good question. The reason this day is there is he wants you to refer back to this list. The Sheja in my list, it's a good question. That Sheja I was talking about back in the last paragraph, it's a good question, great question. Okay, and you have to sensitively translate it. It's got to refer the English reader back to the previous paragraph. Okay, all right, let's go. Just can't criticize anything.
Therefore the other.
Yeah, in the same way, all other chis in the universe. Okay, you can apply this. Jarwa means apply.
Fix.
And this is the what tense?
Should.
Got to. Must.
Imperative. You should. Okay? It's not the future participle, thing to be known. Okay? So you should apply these same principles I just laid out, Mingde Shaktam, to all other qis in the universe. Okay? Chishena,
If you do that kind of analysis.
good, because Chishe normally goes together and it could be confusing. Okay? Chishena means if you guys understand how to do this chit, if you guys get it, how to do this examination with Chis and Chedoks, if you get the pattern here, he's saying, well then, Chung Lao,
It's easy.
yeah, it's easy. It's kind of easy, kinda. Chung. That's his disclaimer. It's kind of easy to perceive, okay? Don't translate this as definite, okay? It's kind of easy to come up with the fact that anything which is a chi doesn't have its own nature, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of easy to figure it out. Nye here means figure it out, If you know how to do the analysis, chishena, then you can take anything in the world which is a chi, and it's kind of easy to figure out that it doesn't have any nature of its own. Okay, good? Got it?
Yeah.
I'm so relaxed to be in middle way, especially with your text. I told Veronica I need like 5 days to do Ben's text. I got 2 days. Then he's in middle way. And I finished it in like 20 minutes, I'm like, it's like taking a bath. Okay.
ရှိမှရင်ပဲရှေ့ကတမ်းချမ်းရမ်းရှင်ကြီးမဲ့တဲ့
Good.
ဒီရှေ့လာညံမဲ့ဒီမှာရှေ့လောင်မဲ့ပဲချေ
Okay, cool. Chimayam Bichedanam. By the way, there's 2 ways to read this, and one of them is wrong. Anybody can take a shot for $0.
Those things that are not composed of, those general things which are not composed of.
those members that are no
It's the other way around, right?
It's,
Remember,
Just this part. Just this part.
it's sets that don't have any chedoks.
Yeah.
is that the other way?
No, it's the other way.
Yeah, yeah.
Chedoks, which are not cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, that's the wrong way to translate it.
Oh, yeah,
Not
it
generals,
is,
or
right.
which are
No, listen, if you don't translate it as an appositive, you get in trouble.
Right.
Because every chedok is a chi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh.
You can't say, let's talk about members which aren't also sets. There's no such thing.
We just covered that now.
Okay, yeah.
Big J?
It's terrible.
I'm not gonna- So don't translate it that way, okay? You have to say, you have to make it a positive. Let's talk about chedoks, not as cheese. All right, that's okay.
Oh,
You see what I mean?
yeah.
Got
Just
it?
taking them by themselves.
Yeah, okay, be careful. Because you'd get into a heavy debate if you translate it as particulars which are not sets. Because every particular is a set, pretty much, okay? Except for Biche, $10.
No member.
Huh?
No member.
Damn,
I'm the one who just said
$10.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Sorry.
the
That's
subject of the sentence usually the first noun. Aren't we talking about
No, well, what I said above was read this as an appositive. Chedoks in the sense of not being cheese. Okay, that's all. But don't say chedoks which are not cheese. Because there are chedoks, you'd be hard put to find one. That's not what he wants to say. He wants to say chedoks, meaning things that aren't cheese. Okay.
so why then isn't the
He doesn't want to say chedoks which are not cheese.
why isn't the modifier following chedok?
Because in Tibetan adjectives go before or something. I don't know.
So that
Book of
whole,
Blue.
that's a whole
It's actually in a
phrase.
positivistic phrase. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, kyang, they also don't exist through any nature of their own. Because that's true whether you're talking about chedoks, which are duches, or chedoks, which are dumaches. Okay, got it? Okay, whether you're talking about members of a set, which are themselves produce things, or members of a set, which are themselves not. By the way, I have a new suggestion for dumache. What's it going to be?
Things which have come together through the convening of their causes and conditions.
Mache.
Not.
Oh, the things which have not. Oh.
I mean, unconscious.
I have a new way of translating it.
Okay, I'm interested.
We're on the edge of our seats.
Don't say, by the way, I believe you have to translate it as things which exist and are not produced.
Existing.
Okay? You can't translate it as unproduced things
Right, yeah.
because that applies to mepas. That applies to horns of a rabbit. Okay? You make a mistake if you translate this as unproduced things. Okay? Because you have to say things which exist and are unproduced. Okay? Got it? In English, you can't say unproduced things because rabbit horns are also unproduced things. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
So be sensitive when you hit dumaches. It's a little longer, but it's more correct. And your audience will thank you in their next life. Okay, so neither chedoks which are produced things, which as we know, Sanskrita, right? Gyudang Kienkid. Dune chepeche, say gyudang, kenki, dune chepeche, a thing which has been made through the convening du of its causes and conditions. Okay, it doesn't mean what do they call it? Compositional factors is such a pile of crap. Okay, it has no meaning and it doesn't mean that at all. Because space is a composed thing. Okay, anyway. Okay.
Crap is compositional.
Okay. Now, hopefully, he's going to go through some chedoks which are produced things, and he's going to go through some chedoks which are existing things which are not produced. Okay, got it? Here we go. Please read.
Duce la mette su che tenin du che sumpo wangun la mepe.
Good. So as far as, if we're going to take all these classes of duces, okay, 3 classes of produced things. First class, physical. Second class, mental. Third class,
Things that are.
keep going, keep coming.
Things
Okay.
which exist which are neither physical or mental.
No, things which are produced,
Produced.
but are neither physical nor mental. Give me some classical examples.
Seeds.
Seeds is a beautiful example when you're teaching this. You know, just those potentials in the mind. That's why you can put a billion on the tip of a pin, because they natsu. Okay, and what's the other good example?
Ben.
Seiji, yeah, good. The person. Those are the 2 classic examples. Abhidharma has a lot of other examples which are just Abhidharma stuff. I saw a quote this morning. What's his name? Sanghabhadra? Vasubandhu's teacher who criticized his work. He said, that's just Vasubandhu. That's like, whoa, who could say that? I said, oh, Sanghabhadra, okay, that's okay. That's just Vasubandhu. Okay, so Sukche Devendra, Sumbo. These 3, right? Not Sumpa, right? Not the third. Kangrung, it's worth $50 for a correct translation.
Any one or all of them.
They split, okay? 25-25. Okay, it should not be translated as either, okay? Unless it fits. Any one or more is fine, but make sure it fits. Sometimes it does mean any one, okay? But I think here you'll have to say any one or more. Okay, maybe 25 each, okay? This is how I support my new kids. My little mooncake. I decided to call her mom Big Mooncake. I decided the little one is Little Mooncake and the dog is Medium Mooncake. Because he's about that size. He's right between the 2. He's Mooncake Maker. The god of mooncakes. Okay, so there's the 3 kinds of changing things, basically. All right, good. And none of these, with none of these as parts, can they have a nature of their own. Okay, as components of a set, as members of a set, none of them has a nature of their own, and he's going to prove it. Okay, now he's going one more level down. Okay, he's doing a logic tree. Please read. Let's go, Adam, come on. This is your chance to criticize somebody, you know, and not get in trouble for it. Yeah, good. I want to check something.
I've been listening to you for so long.
Yeah, by the way,
Cheese?
before he used the word shot here,
Yeah.
which means established, right? And now he's using the word buttocks, okay, which means labeled. Okay, so get it straight here. Okay, he could have said shock, but he's saying buttocks. Okay, and I prefer this spelling, which is the past tense of ndok, and it cannot be confused with tenses meaning to perceive. Brittak. Okay, but you see both. Okay, but this is more correct in my mind. Okay, so where's the label in the kitchen?
Coming out of her mind.
Kitchen.
Onto the husband?
Yeah, the picture's being glued onto him. That's buttocks. Okay, you can say projected. Okay. By the way, when you talk about labels applied to parts, in Tibetan you have to say teng. But I don't want to see upon in your translation, okay? It just means on in English. We don't say on top of. You know, she labeled angry husband on top of his red face and loud noise. We don't say that in English, okay? You have to say it in Tibetan, okay? Okay. Duna, what's Duna?
If you see it in front of it. Yeah.
Good, right in front of you, it's a...
Direct perception.
No, the yupang winsum do.
It exists obvious.
Yeah, it's right there, okay? Right there in front of you. Cheek, that's important. Yeah, a coffee cup. A coffee cup is standing there right in front of you. Take that. Let's take something like that. It is labeled on its...
Lips, cheese.
Yeah, good. What do you call that
The mouth.
in a picture? The spout.
Yeah, it's about
Okay, in Tibetan it's called the lips of the vase. Okay, which is true. Okay, and shup means the base of the, yeah, exactly. We did the shup of the statue downstairs today. That was the shup of the statue. Okay, so etc. What other parts does it have?
toe,
It has a handle.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
belly.
To ring, so they said to dirwa. Say to dirwa. It means chubby little belly. But only with vases. Okay, I mean we gotta work on that. You and me. My idea, by the way, is to do yoga every day with you guys, except today.
Isn't that how it starts?
No, they're delivering a new fridge. I've been waiting for a month and a half. So, but anyway, my proposal, which you're going to accept, is we're going to rent, because Dr. Wu wants yoga classes, quote, every day, but he's worse than me. So we're going to rent, we're going to rent his studio every day from 2 to 3. Okay, so everybody in this room is invited to come and lose your ton dirwa from 2 to 3. And I really encourage you to come. And I told Jigme, for example, I don't care if you sit there and stretch. You don't have to do, when John Campbell teaches Ashtanga, which he's going to do, but he doesn't know it yet. You don't have to do that. You have total freedom to just sit down and stretch. But come and do something. Okay, you can even do a 1 hour shavasana. I don't care. But let's try 2 to 3. Okay, so everyone's invited 2 to 3. across the street. And my idea is to put a bowl out,
Yeah.
and we throw money in there because they'll make more money that way from the guilt factor than if they charged us, which is uncomfortable for them to do. They don't want to charge us. So my idea is, we put a bowl and we all throw $10, $20 in there. They're going to get rich, probably. Okay. Anyway, that's my proposal for yoga. And I promised to do it, except today I got to greet my new refrigerator. They don't make white ones anymore.
What?
And I'm from the 1960s, and the refrigerator is supposed to be white. And they're all aluminum color now. So I said, look, I'm from the 1960s. Don't you make a white one? Yes, sir, but you have to order it from the factory. So it's coming today, and I have to be there, or else V's going to have to carry it. I'm going to choose this all the time. Okay. Now, so he took a Roomba. Now he's going to take a...
Body.
Body.
Whose?
His own.
Yeah, take your own body. Consider your own body. It is labeled on top of your limbs. And don't forget there's 5.
Head, arms, legs.
Yeah, head, arms, legs. Yeah, sometimes they count the torso as 6. Okay, and other parts that boys have. Richik Tawani. Yeah, okay. Richik.
A mountain.
Richik. You have to say a single mountain. He wants you to say a single mountain. Even Big-Che, what is Big-Che? Explain, give a commentary.
I mean, it's Mount Meru, and my understanding is that you guys was it the winter debates?
Yeah, we killed Ganden.
Yeah.
We destroyed Ganden on Big-Che. Big-Che is an ancient word for Mount Meru.
So you wanted to come up with a Jedok that was not a chi, and you leaned on that, hoping that no one would have heard of Big.
Yeah, and it took like 20 minutes for them. Big means to poke, so Mount Meru is called the poker. But so we were like Big-Che, and they're like,
What the hell is that?
Big-Che, and so it doesn't matter if it's important. You just have to embarrass the other monastery. Okay, Richik Tamoni, Sado.
Rocks and stuff?
Yeah, earth and stones, etc. Tsopa, a collection of. Tengne is applied to, right? Is labeled. Okay, so be careful with the English here. Don't give us some English that doesn't work in a restaurant, okay? Is a label applied to, we say in English. We don't say on top of or even on. Okay, hey, don't put that on me.
I think we're out of time again.
No, we just started.
So now we're establishing Dujes as being Tsokchis.
Say again?
We're like
Oh, yeah.
Dujes as being Jedoks because they're
Yeah, and we're not done with all the duches yet. We're going to go to Shilpa,
okay.
okay? He's got something super cute here. Just in case I die, I want to do it today.
Don't die, please.
He said, hey, you want to talk about mental states? Yeah. Oh, well, let's take the wisdom that just occurred in your mind from my talking. I like it. He's like, see what I mean? It's a Tanta right now, Kematapa, the wisdom that you just got from my last sentence. It's a very cool,
Meaning like just
it's a very cool chichen. Let's take the understanding that you had from my last sentence back there. Okay. Matakpa. Just before.
Okay.
Yeah, stopped here. What's the date today? 1/20. Oops. Okay. Puki Joshi Metodam Virabin Shin Yente Gempadi Sangye Shindu Mite Uargi Dokun Namda Shinga Chipasho Idam Guru Ratnamandala Kanyatayami Dikewokun Sanam Yeshe Sotsoshin Sanam Yeshe Lechungwe Dambakuni Topash So during the break in the lounge, I have to talk to Jiggy, Seiji, Stanley, Yali, Nick, Allison, Jenny. That's all.
The other three must be just
Right now?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to meet Santa Claus.
Vámonos.
Thank you so much, Ben.
You're welcome. Well, I'm having fun with this thing. There isn't. I sent it to him. Yes, but she loaded it already in his Dropbox.